All right, guys, what's going on? Back again talking about the Sebastian Rogers case. And what I want to do in this video is basically compare two cases. The other case, I mean, Sebastian's is going to be one of them. But the other one that I want to compare Sebastian's case to, and I've talked about this before, but there's a lot of new people asking me questions about the Sebastian Rogers case, and I just want to compare these two, and you let me know what you think about it, guys. So the case I'm comparing Sebastian's to is one out of Jefferson County, Tennessee. I'm reading about it here. It says sheriff releases new details after missing Jefferson County 7-year-old found dead. Serenity Kinsey, 7-year-old, at the center of an Amber Alert, was found dead in Douglas Lake. And let me just let you listen to the sheriff here real quick, and then I'll go into the story about it.
Deputies responded along with fire and rescue personnel to start conducting a search of the immediate area and also of Douglas Lake.
Deputies found the child's body in the lake just after 11 a.m. Thursday.
All right, so there's the sheriff talking a little bit about it, but the news article gives a lot more detail. And I'll read it here to you. And it says let's see here. Serenity Kinsey was reported missing around 5:15 a.m. See, Sebastian was reported missing around 6 a.m. So comparing the two cases here, the time frame kind of not too far off both cases, right? So she was reported missing around 5:15 a.m. and her family noticed she had left her home in the night. Another similarity here, right? Let's see. The TBI issued an Amber Alert for Kinsey, elevating the search. The sheriff said a ground search began immediately and drones were used, as well as Tennessee Highway Patrol helicopters, and the Knox County Sheriff's Office used their helicopters as well. Now, it says here, investigators found the 7-year-old had left the home 2 other times in the past, but was quickly found both times. In Sebastian's case, we don't have that. Sebastian Rogers, from listening to Chris and Katie, he's never done this before, which is interesting. But I guess there's always a first time for everything. But, the difference is, unfortunately, the last time this little girl got out, the outcome wasn't very, very good. Anyway, it goes on to say, family noticed she was missing at the time of the call and said they hadn't seen her since 1 a.m. There's another similarity between the Sebastian Rogers case and this case. Katie said that she went to bed around 12 a.m. Of course, Sebastian was already supposed to have been in bed and everything. But I guess they went to bed maybe late, something like that. And they're thinking that maybe she had, gotten out of the house, maybe even early. I mean, they reported her missing around 5:15, but they're saying that she could have, gotten out of the house around 2 a.m., somewhere in that area. But here is another interesting comparison. Let me read this to you. One of the first responding deputies deployed his K-9 partner, which led him to the area of a boat dock on Douglas Lake. Now, we heard that K-9s tracked something to a retention pond not too far from Sebastian Rogers' house, right? But there's no confirmation, no 100% confirmation if that dog was tracking Sebastian Rogers, right? in a retention pond really ain't as deep as a lake, a physical lake. So I don't know what happened after the retention pond with, the tracking dog or whatever. So, but anyway, in this case, K-9 partner led the deputy to the area of a boat dock on Douglas Lake. The sheriff's office said TWRA boats, if you don't know what that means, that's Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. It's game wardens down here in Tennessee, or up here, depending on where you're at in the country. TWRA boats responded to that area, and following a scan of the area, observed a suspicious signature on radar near the dock. Divers in an underwater device from Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency began searching the water. They recovered her body and took it to Knox County Regional Forensic Center for an autopsy. So, there you have it. So, some similarities as far as, the time. It says here Serenity Kinsey was reported missing around 5:15 a.m. Sebastian Rogers was reported missing around 6-ish. Similar times. The difference in Sebastian's case in this is, one, they were searching a lake, which was probably where the boat dock is, maybe 10 feet deep, maybe 10 feet deep. A lot deeper than a retention pond, in my opinion, a lot deeper. So, and also you can't really get boats in a retention pond with, sonar and stuff like that on it too. But I guess they somehow searched the retention pond really good for Sebastian Rogers, never found him. It's got a hard, so it's not like Sebastian could have sunk through the mud like quicksand and just disappeared. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the whole story is officially with, the tracking dog going to the retention pond. That is something I really wish law enforcement would clarify more on. I don't know if that has anything to do with the investigation, but yeah, they found that little girl in a lake versus, they were basically searching a lake versus searching a retention pond, okay? So that's one difference there, okay? The second difference, not a similarity, but a difference, is this little girl had went missing 2 other times, but fortunately was found very quickly. It's only the 3rd time that tragedy struck, right? So, and in Sebastian's case, he didn't have a history of running off, right? Now, both these kids have autism, and the interesting fact when listening to one other news article about this, a news reporter said that people of all ages, and let me stress that, people of all ages have a high risk of drowning if they are autistic. So if someone is autistic, it doesn't matter what age they are, they have a risk of drowning, a high risk of drowning if left unsupervised, depending on their level of autism. So, and I found that very interesting. Age really didn't play a factor in their risk of drowning if they had autism. I found that very interesting. Don't know where that news reporter got the information from, but that is what's being said, that, it affects people of all ages if you have autism. My opinion is it just kind of depends on what level of autism they have. don't really know much about it, not an expert at it. I'm sure there's people, you know, that's watching this video. You can chime in if you want to, if you have kids that are autistic, you know, or if you're experienced with people that are autistic, you can chime in, leave a comment. Let me know if they're right. Are people of all ages at a high risk of drowning due to their, you know, autism diagnosis? So that would be kind of interesting to know right there. But I mean, another difference though in this case compared to Sebastian's is a canine was able to track her, I guess, coming from the house, right? A canine picked her up coming from the house and followed her scent down to the boat dock. And I mean, she was reported missing at 5:15 a.m. And I think that reporter said that they recovered her body around, or they found her around 11 a.m. So, yeah. Let me play this because there's more to it. Let me see when they recovered her body. I think they said around 11 a.m.
themselves.
And close by.
I mean, it was just one of those points where they got up and she was not inside.
Now the community is reacting to the law. Kinsley was diagnosed with autism, and the sheriff's office says this is not the first time the girl has been reported missing. But in those two cases, the child had been found quickly and close by.
I mean, it was just one of those points where they got up and she was not inside.
Now the community is reacting to the loss, trying to make sense of the community coming together.
Hold on.
Deputies responded along with the fire and rescue personnel. Can start conducting a search of the immediate area and also of Douglas Lake.
Deputies found the child's body in the lake just after 11 a.m. Thursday.
Okay, yeah, 11 a.m. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6 hours. It only took 6 hours to find her. We still haven't found Sebastian. It's been months. It's been months, guys. So there's a big difference right there. So just wanted to bring this to you guys. A lot of you guys are, you know, new to the case, and you know, you're hearing a lot about the scent dogs, the tracking dogs, this and that. And I've done this video maybe about a year ago, and seeing how there's a lot of new people that have been attracted to this case, the attention to it. I just kind of wanted to go over it again and compare another child that went missing with autism, and kind of compare the similarities and the differences in both cases. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, right? So again, if you're, you know, if you're used to dealing with a child who has autism, whether they're your child or not, chime in. Let me know what you think. If you, I mean, whether you're a parent or you just work with kids, you know, that have autism, you know, I'm sure there's resources out there where, in, you know, school, you know, probably school resources, stuff like that. You know, I can see them teaching kids with autism, you know, special life skills, if you will. I'll call it life skills, to help keep them safe. You know, they probably teach them, you know, if you're not with an adult and you see water, stay away from it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that helps, but I'm sure that a lot of kids and even adults with autism are probably taught some life skills to where they're cautious around water. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing. Don't know if they are. Like I said, you can chime in and let me know if they are. I would think that it's just scary, guys. It's scary to realize that people of all ages are at a high risk of drowning with autism. All ages. You know, there's no discrimination apparently with it. So that's very interesting. So chime in, let me know what you think about everything. Appreciate you for tuning in. Hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.